Hey y'all, welcome back to the frying pan of the Chrispy Fried Take Sports podcast, where I give you some of the crispiest takes possible, or some that are just incredibly burnt. I'm your host Chrispy, and today in the frying pan, I review the Masters tournament. I give you my NBA playoff predictions. From burnt to crispy, I rank ice cream brands, and as always, to close out the show, what happened today in sports history. And special announcement, we are now in 3 different countries. We, obviously in the United States, we were in Malawi, Africa, we are in, and now we are in our 3rd country. We are in Switzerland. So everyone, everywhere, thank you for listening. And so with that, it's April 16th. 2024, so let's get sizzling. Someone was cooking at Augusta, and you know who. It was Scotty Scheffler who won the Masters tournament this last weekend, and that was probably one of the most dominant Masters performances anybody has seen since Tiger won in 97. And so I'll give you a little recap. It was probably one of the most boring, exciting tournaments you'll ever watch, because I feel like 95% of the population that was watching that tournament knew who was going to win it by the end of the first round, honestly. And so before I get there, let's rewind a little bit and let's hear I'll give you the storylines from each day and how they kind of played out. And I'll also be talking about, because last week on the podcast, I gave kind of like my, like who I thought was going to do well, who was a surprise. And so I'll rank how crispy or how burnt those were at the end kind of the Masters segment. But anyway, in the practice rounds, there were some storylines in there. Obviously, Tiger is coming back. This is the first time he's played since the Genesis Open, and he only played one round there before he withdrew. So this is his first, I guess, real appearance. I mean, that he's continuing to plan on playing all 4 rounds. And what else happened? Obviously, the big question was will Rory get the Grand Slam because he has the Open, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship, but he doesn't have Augusta. Augusta seems to always just beat him. You know, he can never get over that hump. And another storyline that maybe not everyone knew is that Bryson DeChambeau was using 3D printed irons, and it only got approved, like this was so new to the USGA that they've never seen anything like that his irons only got approved on Tuesday before the tournament started. So he was using basically a complete different set of clubs than what he used last year, besides his putter, I think. So his putter and like woods, I'm pretty sure. I know his putter. I don't know about, I didn't see where the rest was, but he's basically using a whole entire new set of clubs, and it kind of worked out for him, I guess. It was basically made to be a little bit more forgiving, I'd say. I mean, that's how all irons are made, but his were like more forgiving for his game, I guess you could say, because he just has such a unique type of swing. And also another storyline going into this in the practice rounds was, would Jon Rahm defend his green jacket? You know, no one kind of really knows how he was doing going into this tournament because he was on LIV, and no one really follows with LIV, and no one ever takes LIV seriously because there's like about 20 players that are really good, and the rest are just like, you know, they'd be in the bottom of the PGA Tour, like they'd be in the DP World Tour. So anyway, those were the storylines coming into it. And also, one more storyline. Before we get into any of this, the real MVP of this tournament was not Scotty Scheffler. It was Meredith Scheffler, Scotty's wife, who was pregnant and is like any day now going into labor. Like, she could have gone into labor during Augusta, and she didn't, because obviously Scotty won. But if she did, Scotty was willing to leave the tournament, you know, and do the right thing. And if his wife went into labor, he would have gone and left the tournament, and that would have been crazy. So there were some storylines going into this. And so those were kind of like the practice round, the predictions of everything. And that was basically that was basically the predictions. So the first round of the tournament, we're past the practice round. The first round got delayed. It got delayed because there was lots of rain for the first few hours, and and it made the course soft. I'll explain that right here. Basically, if you're not familiar with golf, golf courses, especially majors, are meant to play firm. So they dry out the greens, they dry out the fairway, so that way the ball will run. It'll run through the fairway, and so that way it is more likely to land in the rough or bounce off the green into a bunker into the rough. What the rain does is that it softens it. It softens the course up, so it makes it real easier. The ball is more likely to spin. It's more likely to do a lot of things. It's just easier for the players. And there was no wind Thursday either. So it made it really, I guess, easy. I mean, Augusta's not an easy course. It's one of the most heavily sloped courses in the world. But if there was a way to make it easy, the rain definitely did, because Bryson DeChambeau went really low. He shot his lowest round of the tournament. Lowest round for him I think he's ever shot in the tournament on Thursday, which is pretty crazy because he has never done well. He has never done well at that course. Like he's because he called it, he kind of got karma on him because he called Augusta a par 67, saying that it was easy to bomb everything a few years ago, and he was kind of bulky, and everything, and so he called it par 67. It kind of bit him because he would always miss the cut during then. And this is like the first time since he was an amateur that he's done well. So I guess, good for him. I'm trying to, let's see, what was his score? His score was, it's got to be on here somewhere. His score was 7 under. Yeah. Because it wasn't 6, because Scotty shot 6. Anyway, DeChambeau went low. He had the round 1 lead. And then everyone else seems to do well. If you shoot anywhere under par, that is considered good. That is considered one of the best. Okay, here it is. I've got it now. Round 1. Took me for. Oh, he shot 7 under. Okay, I was right. He shot 7 under in round 1. Sorry, I was looking at all of that. He shot 7 under in round 1. Had 1 bogey, and that was on hole 9. He had 2 times in round 1 where he had 3 birdies in a row. So he took advantage of that course. And to be fair, everyone did, but he was the one that did the most. And so he had the clear lead by 2 or 3 shots. And then Scotty comes up at the end of the day and just casually shoots 6 under. Well, just didn't even look like he was trying. He shows so very little emotion that sometimes it doesn't even look like he's trying. And so the rain softened up the course and everyone went low. And Tiger was doing well, but then the first round got, I guess, postponed because they were playing late due to the darkness earlier, that they had to play the end of the first round on Friday. And by the way, the first round scoring average was 73.43, and that'll be important because we're going into the second round now, and everyone's finishing. And so second round, completely different day. There is a wind advisory the whole entire day, and it makes it nearly 4 times as hard as the day before. The course has dried up. It is now firm again, so now you're adding wind. This is a completely different course than what they have played previously. Completely different. And so everyone who's playing round 1 has to go back and start on the hole they, I guess, finished at so they can finish their round. And they just do horrible. Jordan Spieth got a triple bogey on that hole, on the his first hole he played at the end of the round, because it was so difficult. And some of those holes on the back 9 are not the holes you want to start on. And so that basically caused Jordan to miss the cut. A lot of phenomenal players missed the cut. Actually, kind of a funny thing happened to Wyndham Clark because he was trash talking all the live boys. And he was like, it's going to be troublesome playing 54 holes. And he kind of got a little cocky because he won the U.S. Open and he thinks he's all that. He ended up missing the cut. So, yeah, the U.S. Open champ missed the cut, but he kind of had that. He had karma coming. The one thing about the Masters that you learn is that karma will get to you. If you never want to disrespect the course or disrespect anyone at Augusta, because they will make you pay. That course will make you pay for it. So anyway, the wind advisory makes it nearly, I guess I would call it 4 times as hard as the day before. It was like 10 times as hard. And Tiger has to play the end of his round 1 and play his whole entire round 2 that day. And he's hurt, and you can tell he had to play 22 holes that day. But guess what? He makes the cut. He makes his 24th consecutive cut at Augusta National, breaking Fred Couples' record. And so good for him. Good for him. And the scoring average on the second round was 75.08, which is the highest for the second round since 2007. And the cut line, like before the second round, was roughly like 2 over. It went all the way down to 6 over, which for like PGA Tour players is pretty insane. And only 26 in round 2 shot better than round 1, which is wild. And I think a lot of the people that shot better in round 2 is because they played a lot. And they started round 2. Hold up. Pause. Okay. They ended the round 1 and then they played round 2. So they already got experience on the course. There we go. I think that makes sense. And so the scoring average, I already said that, 75.08. And Scotty just doesn't let anything bother him. Scotty did not let that course get to him. He was just like, yeah, he shows so little emotion that it's crazy. Because, let's see, we'll pull up his scoring card. Results. Where is it? Let's see the Masters. Scorecards. Oh, no. Why is the PGA Tour app? You'd think I'd have it on here on my computer, but, I'm just kind of bouncing around. Okay. No, we don't want to see the RBC Heritage. That's the upcoming tournament. Okay, round 2. Okay, anyway, round 2 shot even, which is pretty remarkable on that course for how hard it was playing, because he shot 66 the first round and he shot even the second round. And even is a really good score. Like, basically no one shot in the red round 2. And so he's still at 6 under, and he did so well the first round that no one would move up on him, really. So he was just in the lead, and he really never let go. Because now the cut has happened. The 6 over happened. And now we're to the third round. And people kind of start falling apart a little. Some people rise up. Some people fall apart. One of the big names of the who rose up, I guess, would be Ludvig Åberg from Sweden. He's from Tech, and he was the first person ever to be granted a PGA Tour card out of college, because now the PGA Tour is allowing the best person. I guess they do a points list for college, and he was number 1 that year because he did the best out of everyone. So now they're doing from college. You can jump to the PGA for the number 1. So he did that, and he got 2nd overall in the tournament. But we'll get to that a little later, or in like 2 minutes. But so yeah, people start falling apart, but Scotty holds it together. The average scoring was 74.3, was actually not good, because third round's considered moving day and they kind of make the course a little easier, but nope, no one could do it that day. Everyone kind of seemed to struggle. Morikawa rose up, but to be honest, no one. I would have placed money on Scotty. I should have, but I didn't, because Scotty just held it together. Because I think everyone was thinking, there's no way this dude has played this flawless without a collapse, and everyone was, I guess, maybe in the back of their mind they thought he was collapsing. But anyway, the third round was pretty bleak. It was just Scotty dominating. Scotty being Scotty. DeChambeau kind of was falling apart. He did hole out for birdie on the 18th hole, though. That was pretty funny, because he hit it into the trees, and he just had to punch it out of a bush, and then he had roughly 100 yards, give or take. And he just holed out for a birdie to go at 3 under. But yeah, Scotty held it together on the third round. He shot 1 under with 1, 2, 3 bogeys and a double bogey, because he had 2 birdies, an eagle, and 2 other birdies. That's just how crazy he is. So Scotty still in the lead. Now we're going to the fourth round. In the fourth round, now some may call it boring, but I thought it was one of the most entertaining things you could watch, products that you could watch. Because the fourth round, at the beginning of the tournament, you see so many people make a run. You have Max Homa making a run at Scotty Scheffler. You have Ludwig Oberg making a run. You have Colin Morikawa trying to make a run. You have so many people. You have trying to make a run. Even Tyrell Hatton kind of made a run at the end. He had like he had 3 birdies in a row on the back nine. It was starting to move up the leaderboard. And you had so many people making a run, but Scotty held it together. And what was so impressive about round 4 is because he had 3 birdies in a row from 8, 9, 10, and then he bogeyed 11. And then he birdied but basically the bogey, everyone knew he was winning because up by like 3 or 4 shots at that point. Everyone knew he was winning. And so he was just playing it safe on the last few holes. And playing it safe for most people at Augusta results in like bogeys or pars. Not for Scotty. Scotty from hole 12, from Amen Corner, I guess from the back nine. We'll say the back nine. He went birdie bogey, and then hole 12, which is probably the most iconic hole, the par 3, where where when Tiger won the Masters in 2019, everyone hit in the water and he made par, and that kind of elevated him to win. He made par, and then on 13 birdie, 14 birdie, 15 par, 16 birdie, 17 par, 18 par. And the thing was, he was hitting like irons and 3-woods and hybrids off the tees at this point. And he was still making birdies. He had like 200 something yards in, and he was still hitting it so close. That just shows how great his game is. And on the 4th round, 8 players total only finished under par, with Scotty at 11 under. And so Scotty ends up winning the Masters. Now, I guess a cool story I forgot to mention earlier was Neil Shipley. You may not know who he is if you didn't watch. He was a grad student from Ohio State who was an amateur and was the only amateur to make the cut at the Masters. And, you know, he made the cut, but he didn't really do well on Thursday. Or not Thursday. He didn't really do well on Saturday. And neither did Tiger. Tiger didn't do well on Saturday either. And guess what? He got the lucky chance. He got paired with Tiger Woods for the final round of the Masters. And Tiger is not like how he used to be, where he's just kind of like just mute, not mute. What am I thinking? Where Tiger's just kind of like a stale face or just not wanting to talk. He was very open. He was very chatty with Tiger. So that's a cool memory I'll take away. And I think even the cooler thing was that his caddy, Shipley's caddy, is just one of his friends from his high school. So if you were the caddy, you're like, sweet, I get to go to the Masters. That is incredible. And then you're like in the 4th round, in the final round, you're like, I am literally standing next to Tiger Woods at the Masters. Like, life could not get any better besides, like, all around the Masters. Getting to go to the Masters for free is amazing, would be amazing, because you already have that. The merch shop is crazy. I'd be a kid in the candy store there. And then also the concessions are so cheap that you're paying it's only like $1.50 for a sandwich and chips, and it's just great prices all around. And so that's kind of how Augusta National, the Masters, went for Scotty. Scotty ended up winning, and now he's back in the DFW area because waiting for his wife to give birth. And also, I guess a little tad bit was the top 12 and ties, if you didn't know, receive invites to next year's Masters. And so these are the players that are automatically in it next year, who you'll see next year is Ludwig Oberg, Tommy Fleetwood, Max Homa, Xander Schauffele, Will Zalatoris, Tyrell Hatton, Matthew Payton, Adam Schenk, and Cam Davis. And this is big. This is probably the biggest for Tyrell Hatton because he's on LIV, so he automatically gets to come back next year no matter what. And is there anything else? No. Scotty was at the bar. It was funny. He went to his hometown bar after he won the green jacket. And almost forgot. We'll go back from my predictions from the last episode. Let's pull it up in my obvious favorites category. So now we're done talking about Augusta. Let's go to my predictions from the last episode, how burnt or how crispy they were. So as my obvious favorites, I had Scotty and Jon Rahm. And I give that crispy. Like, that is the crispiest take possible because one of those players won. And Jon Rahm didn't do great. He made the cut, but he was always at the bottom. But he still made the cut, which is pretty good. Some previous Masters champs don't. And so I think I give myself crispy on that. Now may be a little rough. I don't think so. Because So I had underrated. My underrated category was Xander Schauffele and Brooks Koepka. Now, Xander kind of struggled at the beginning of the tournament. He really was struggling. Like it was bad. But because he just went up and down all the time, and he got top 10. I need to find they got rid of the Masters leaderboard on the PGA Tour app, and that's what I was using. So Masters leaderboard, we're gonna go there. Boop boop boop. Da, da, da. But yeah, Xander, he struggled in the first round, but he got back together to get top 10. So Xander Schauffele got 8th at the Masters, finishing 1 under total, the last player under par. And so underrated, that's okay. That's an okay pick because he made top 10, which is better than a lot of other people. I had Brooks Koepka as underrated. Now Brooksy, where did he go? Oh, he was right. He got tied for 45th, 9 over total. Kind of burnt on that. He was underrated. Maybe I kind of made him overrated. And in my young players to do well category, I had Joaquin Niemann and Akshay Bhatia. Now Akshay, I think young players that do well is like classified as making the cut. Like I think, young players is like top, 60 make the cut. So I think to do well is 30th. And Akshay got tied for 35th at 6 over. So that's not horrible. That's like in the middle. Now Joaquin, where did Joaquin Niemann go? Because he was on here. But Joaquin made the cut. So that counts. Oh, he got tied for 22nd. He was 4 over total. So I think young players to do well, that's like in the middle. That's in the middle because I think 30th or better is like doing well at the Masters probably. I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends what you think it is. But I'm classifying as that top 30 or better is like doing well. So Akshay and Joaquin, that's like in the middle. And my surprise players was Bryson DeChambeau and Sahith Theegala. DeChambeau was a great pick for the surprise player because he surprised everyone. No one expects DeChambeau to do well at this course or these type of courses, and he did incredible. Sure, he kind of choked at the end, but he's 2 under total for the tournament, and he was tied for 6. So that's pretty good. And then Sahith made the cut. Where did Sahith go? Oh, he got tied for 45th. He tied with Brooks Koepka at 9 over. So that take didn't go great. Those were 2 kind of polar opposites. But no one I picked missed the cut. So I'd like to give myself a pat on the back, a little pat right there, because my Masters takes were pretty good. And with that, that's everything I had covered on here. With that, those are my Masters predictions. No, I meant those are my Masters takeaways, not my predictions. The term already happened. Those were my Masters takeaways from arguably the best weekend of the year. It is time for the NBA playoffs. Let's go. I'm pumped. I think this is one of the best playoffs we've had in years, because I don't think there are favorites, but I don't think there's a clear favorite. So anyway, I'll basically give you my takeaways in my bracket. It's not the March Madness. It's not as fun as the March Madness bracket, but it is who I think will do well in the tournament. We'll give from the first round, from the play-in to the NBA Finals. This is who I think will make it. And I'd like to give a little shout out to the Dallas Mavericks because I had them as like the 8 or 9 seed as the play-in like a month or 2 ago. And they clutched up. Luka turned into MVP form and got the Mavs all the way from like the 8 or 9 seed to the 5 seed, which is amazing. So anyway, pumped for that. So there may be a little bit of biases in here, but not that much. So anyway, out of the West, it is I guess we have the play-in games. We'll start with the play-in games. So we have the East and the West play-in games. Now, those start tonight. It'll be fun. I don't know how well the play-in teams. There's usually one play-in team that does well, but I don't know about this year because. So basically, out of the West, the Lakers play the Pelicans to see who will play the Nuggets. And honestly, I think the Nuggets will beat either one of them. But that's just me. So I don't think it matters who wins. I don't think any of the play-in teams are winning the first round game. Now, Warriors play the Kings. Whoever wins that will play the loser of the Lakers and the Pelicans, and they will play. No, wait, they will play the Nuggets, and the winner of the Lakers Pelicans will play the Thunder. Now, the Thunder, even though they're a 1 seed, they're kind of a beatable team because they're so young and so inexperienced in the playoffs. But you can never know. They're the 1 seed for a reason. And in the East is a little bit more where I guess a play-in team could beat the actual team because Joel Embiid was hurt and the Sixers fell to the play-in game between the Heat. So the 76ers and Heat, if whoever wins that will play the Knicks. And honestly, if the 76ers win, they could possibly beat the New York Knicks, which would be kind of sad because I'm kind of rooting for the New York Knicks to win it all if it's not the Mavs because they've just been so bad for so long that it would be cool. They've never been able to win, it feels like. And then the other playing games, the Bulls and the Hawks, and I don't think whoever wins that's losing to the Heat or 76ers. Like I say there's no way they win against the Heat or the 76ers, whoever wins that game. So anyway, the playing games I feel like don't matter as much. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the end. But anyway, out of the West, we'll start with the West. The Thunder will play the play-in. I've got the Thunder. Thunder probably, oh my goodness, probably then 4. I'd say Thunder and 4. Thunder and 5, honestly, no worse than that. Next, we have the Clippers and the Mavericks. This will be a great series. One of the best series in the NBA because, frankly, they've both played each other in like the last 3 of the 4 playoffs, it feels like. And it's just the Clippers are 2-0, but the Mavs always put up such a good fight. I think this year is the year the Mavs finally take them over. Although the Clippers have, I know they're old, but James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. So I've got Mavs in 6, no worse. The worst that can happen is like Clippers in 7. I think Mavs in 7 though. Mavs in 6, Mavs in 7. I think they're winning that series. And I've got the 3 Timberwolves versus the Suns. Now, they played each other for the last regular season game, and the Suns won. Suns are kind of like the Timberwolves kryptonite. They've swept the Timberwolves in the regular season series. So that's something to watch out for. Now, I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns has been hurt for a while. I don't know if he's making his return. He's out for the season. He's out for like the whole entire season, or he's returning for the playoffs. But it doesn't matter. I've got Suns in 6. I think they will upset the Timberwolves in the NBA tournament. Now I've got Nuggets versus the Pelicans or Lakers. I've got Nuggets in 6. No worse. I think it's just Nuggets in 6 no matter what. Because those are good teams. They're tough teams, but I think the Nuggets are just better. In the East, I've got the Celtics beating whoever they play. They're going to either play, I think they're winning no matter what. The Celtics in 5, whoever they play from the play-in. Cavs and Magic, this is a great series. Now the Magic are a little inexperienced. I'm kind of against the teams without experience in the playoffs because that really does matter in the NBA. So I've got Cavs in 6 again. I think they'll beat the Magic. Cavs in 5, honestly, I could see that too. But if the Magic win, that'll be a little surprising, but not super surprising. So I think the very best the Magic can do is Magic in 7, but I've got Cavs in 6. Then Bucks and the Pacers. Now, this is an interesting series because they have a little bit of rivalry. You know, when Giannis dropped that insane, I don't even know, I can't remember, 60 points for the franchise record, but the Pacers stole the ball because their rookie scored his first points, and Giannis freaked out. And so there's a little bit of rivalry here. They played in the in-season tournament. You know, Pacers knocked them, and some rivalry. Now, the Bucks, I think, are missing. The Bucks, let me see. I just saw this 5 minutes ago. Giannis Antetokounmpo and an injury. Giannis is expected to miss the start of the series versus the Pacers, and I think that will hurt them. So I'm going Pacers. He's expected to miss like the first 1 or 2 games, I believe. And if that actually happens, then Pacers are winning. Pacers in 6. So that's the upset. And the Knicks play the 76ers Miami. Now, if Philly wins, then that's a pretty good series. Knicks in 7, they've got Jalen Brunson. I think he's really coming into form. They've got really the team. They got Dante DiVincenzo. I definitely mispronounced that name. He's like basically the forgotten Splash Bro. I mean, he was on the Warriors, got traded to the Knicks he got traded to the Knicks, and he's been balling out. They got Mitchell Robinson returning. They've got a great team is what I'm trying to say. So I think the Knicks will win in 7. Now we're on to the conference semis. We've got the Thunder versus the Mavericks, and I think this is where Luka really takes over because Luka does have playoff experience. They went all the way to the conference finals 2 or 3 seasons ago. So I just think that I think the Mavericks beat the Thunder. Now there's a little bit of bias there, but that's just kind of how it is sometimes. But I do think the Mavericks will beat the Thunder. I would not be surprised if the Thunder beat the Mavericks, but I do definitely believe the Mavericks can beat the Thunder. And then for the conference semis, I've got the Nuggets beating the Suns. The Suns are good, but it's Nikola Jokic, and no one can seem to stop Jokic. Now for the for the East and the conference semis, I've got the Celtics versus the Cavs. I think the Celtics are winning. This is a great year for them. And then I've got the Knicks over the Pacers. I just think the Knicks are both are complete teams, the Pacers and the Knicks, but I think the Knicks are just the better of the two teams. Now we're on to the conference finals. It is the Nuggets versus the Mavs. I think the Nuggets do beat the Mavs. It's Nikola Jokic. It's hard to stop Jokic. And I've got them over the Mavs. I've got Nuggets in 6. I think they're going to beat the Mavs. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nuggets at 5. I just don't think the Mavs can match up to that totality of a team that the Nuggets are. Now in the conference finals, this is interesting because the Celtics do typically choke in the playoffs. They have an amazing team. They just can't make it to the finals or don't win the finals. And the Knicks, well, I mean, they're the same thing. They just can't get the job done. So it's the battle of the two teams in the East that kind of choke a lot. And I honestly, it's tough because I really want the Knicks to beat the Celtics, but the Celtics are the better team. But I think the Knicks are also a good team, so I'm going to go with the Knicks. Knicks in 7. And then in the NBA Finals, I think it's Nikola Jokic back-to-back NBA champions because they beat the New York Knicks. Now, if the New York Knicks 2 win, that'd be great. I'm not disappointed in that. I just think it's Nikola Jokic and Nikola Jokic only that can win the NBA Finals as the championship. And so that's kind of my NBA. Those are my NBA predictions, my takeaways. I guess I can talk about one other thing is that Caitlin Clark got drafted to the Indiana Fever, the WNBA, and it's kind of sad for the NBA, for the WNBA. Now they're going to grow exponentially, but for a first-round pick for the WNBA, for what Caitlin Clark's salary is going to be in the W is $300,000 for 4 years, which is not good at all. She'll make way more in endorsements though, but that's kind of interesting. But I think the WNBA is honestly on the come up now because the women that are playing the sport now, they're not. I don't think they complain as much. I feel like these college kids just want to hoop and play as much versus how kind of the old guard of the WNBA always complained that they weren't getting any revenue, even though it was the most boring product to watch. And now these actual players that can play in college are just wanting to play. They just want to get some recognition. They're not begging for it. They're getting recognition because they're playing so well that I think this draft class is the saving grace for the WNBA, and I think they may actually turn a profit this season. I know that's shocking to some, and that's shocking to me too, but I think they could make a profit this season because Caitlin Clark's jersey's all sold out in an hour after she got drafted. So that's huge. So that's just a little WNBA. That's my NBA playoff bracket. I've got the Nuggets. I honestly don't know who's going to win it, but I will say though, I did the ESPN pick 'em thing where you get to, I guess, a bracket 2 or 3 seasons ago or 2 or 3 years ago, and I got a perfect first round. So keep that in mind. I'd say keep that in mind a little bit before you grade harshly on my NBA predictions. But with that, that's my NBA playoff, NBA finals predictions, and that's also a little taste of what's happening in the WNBA. On today's, or I guess this podcast, I mean, today counts too, but anyway, on Burnt to Chrispy, it's ice cream brands now. This could get a little intense now, even for me just talking about it. But we've got 4 contestants. We've got Bluebell, Breyers, Blue Bunny, and Ben and Jerry's. Now this is a tough one. I may have set myself up for like probably the toughest, and this could be the most heavily criticized burnt to crispy of them all, because I love ice cream. Ice cream is one of the best things ever created, and I have respect for all of these ice cream brands. But because Ben and Jerry's has like really, I guess, creative, unique ice cream, but it's so expensive. Ben and Jerry's ice cream is so expensive. It's ridiculous. Because there's like one near my house, and it's the most expensive ice cream, like for those little, like, I don't even know what they're called, like cartons thing. So purely based off how much ice cream I'm getting from Ben and Jerry's, because, okay, they cost a little under $5 at Target. Anyway, whereas other ice cream costs like $3.50. And now ice cream is good, but you can't afford to pay like $5, which is like a little over half the price of like a big gallon of ice cream from Bluebell. And they've got the chunky donkey, they got the brownie batter, they got the sweet like sugar cookie dough. Like Ben and Jerry's has some creative, unique ice creams, but it cannot be that expensive. So for that, Ben and Jerry's goes into the burnt category. Now, this is I think that was the clear, obvious one. They're going in burnt. Now, we got some tough decisions. Blue Bunny ice cream. I like Blue Bunny. I think they've got arguably the best of the basics ice cream. Like if you wanted chocolate or vanilla or strawberry, I'd go to Blue Bunny because it's soft served. Soft serve is tough to beat. Whereas like Breyers and Bluebell stick to more like, I guess, like hardcore ice cream. You know, it's not soft served. It's we get at the normal ice cream parlor. And so, but Breyers is good. I like the Breyers Rocky Road ice cream. This is tough. I think Blue Bunny is okay. I'm pulling up a website right now. The Daily Meal. They have Bluebell as 16. These people don't know what they're talking about. What is wrong with this? What? I mean, okay, these people are horrible. They're like, it's technically not ice cream because it has specific rules. I mean, Dairy Queen's not ice cream, but it's like, it's custard. It's basically ice cream. Ice cream can fall into that category. I don't care about the specifics. What is this list? I'm looking up this list now. Breyers is at 11. The Daily Meal is ranking these ice creams. That's the website, thedailymeal.com. They call Breyers as the first step into the world of non-terrible ice cream. What is wrong with these people? These people are horrible. They're calling Breyers garbage. But then you come, okay. They think it's because it's lumped together. That's ridiculous. That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever Breyers is at 11. What do they have ahead of this? Magnum? Who in the world likes Magnum ice cream? What? That just looks expensive. That looks like hot garbage. Magnum looks horrible. What is this? Let's see. Turkey Hill? Who? And they have orange cream swirl as the brand for Turkey Hill? What is this? This is ridiculous. Turkey Hill is another brand with some good and not so good flavors. And sussing them out can be a bit of a chore. Anyone who uses sussing them out has no reason to talk about ice cream. No. What is this? Baskin Robbins is up here. Sure, they're good, but why they have them at 8? What is this? Serendipity as a 7th over Baskin Robbins. Ridiculous. You're wrong. Graders? Nope. That doesn't exist. Talent Teach is overrated. This website's horrible. They have Ben and Jerry's at 4. This place is ridiculous. This is this person's from like California or something. This person is like, I don't know. This is horrible. Tillamook, okay. Actually, we're going to add Tillamook to this because Tillamook's a valid 3. Tillamook's a valid. We're going to add Tillamook. Ben & Jerry's is still last. So we're going to add Tillamook's to Birthday Crispy because I totally forgot about that ice cream. But, okay, what do they have as 2? Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream? That's healthy ice cream. These guys are horrible. And they've got Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs is 1. Respectable. They don't even have Bluebell on here. What is this place? This place has no reason to talk about ice cream. Do they even have Bluebell on here? Let's see. We're going to look. Breyers is at 11. I grew up on. They have Bluebell at 14. Oh my gosh. The Daily Meal. What is this place? This website is one of the worst websites I've ever seen. I know this is supposed to be my own take, but I just looked it up to look up ice creams and I found this. And the Daily Meal canceled. You're gone. This is horrible. They have Halo Top. Halo Top at 15 is actually valid. They have ranked out of 16. They put Blue Bunny last. This place is wrong. Everyone likes Blue Bunny. Blue Bunny is soft served ice cream. It is basic ice cream. I don't care. They're going on a technicality that's not ice cream. Blue Bunny is amazing. Anyway, Bluebell at 14, that's ridiculous. They've obviously never tried Dr. Pepper ice cream. They've never tried anything from there. That is a horrible decision. As a Texan, I will not stand for the Daily Meal to do this. I'm looking up the Daily Meal right now. Where does the Daily Meal originate? Let's see. Where does the Daily Meal website come from? In January by Daily Meal place. I don't know. Origin. I don't know. Oh, this is horrible. 2011. This is one of the worst lists I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. On their staff page, it's all okay. They don't even have the staff page. This is horrible. That is one of the worst lists I've ever seen. Bluebell. Okay, what do they have for an explanation on Bluebell? Once again, we have an adorable logo, this time featuring a cow. But we will not be suckered by this wholesome country scene. It was found in 1907 and literally delivered ice cream. You may get the impression, oh, okay. They don't. Oh, these guys. This Bluebell falters from simply being mediocre. That is horrifying. They're saying it's just because it's unhealthy. This isn't even a healthy. This isn't even a healthy list from the Daily Meal. They're just saying because all ice cream's unhealthy. I don't even care. You could get the healthy ice cream too. It doesn't even taste good. It's not even the best for you. This is the worst list I've ever seen. I am offended. I'm offended by this. Bluebell's at 14. How can you do this? What else? Edie's. Okay, I've never heard of Edie's and Dryers. Friendlies. Oh, it's because it's cheap. Okay, but if it's cheap, it's bad too. Oh my goodness. That is one of the worst lists I've ever seen in my life. Because they didn't even rank any of mine. I believe those are. I forgot about Tillamook. Now you could include Haagen-Dazs in there, but we're not going to do just for the sake. We want 5 brands, but Haagen-Dazs is a top 5. Is not or a top 8 ice cream brand. Oh my goodness, they've got Haagen-Dazs is good, but Bluebell, Breyers, Blue Bunny, Ben & Jerry's, Tillamook. Oh my gosh, I just burped. Excuse me. I think they're the top of the top. Now, Ben & Jerry's could probably get switched with Haagen-Dazs, but we've already started with Ben & Jerry's. That's the burnt category. The Daily Meal. You are horrible. You are horrible at rating ice cream. It has sugar in it. Well, all ice cream has sugar on it. Anyway, from my burnt to crispy, the correct take, not this Daily Meal garbage that this website is producing. Who wrote this? They don't even have a writer. Where's the writer? They don't have the person that wrote the article. This was in January 23rd, 2023. We may receive a commission on purchase from links. This is rigged. They say that in the website. Oh, okay. Just because they didn't sponsor you on this? Huh. Wow. don't. Okay, if you want ice cream, you're listening to this right now. Do not listen. Do not look up and follow the Daily Meal on your ice cream expenditures, because that is that's just wrong. They're going based off stats, not their taste buds. Anyway, we're going to forget about them, and we're going to go, Ben & Jerry's is 5, because we're adding Tillamook in. Tillamook's a great ice cream. We'll get into that. Ben & Jerry's is 5. Now, honestly, you can't go wrong with any of the other 4. You cannot go wrong with Tillamook, Blue Bunny, Breyers, or Bluebell. But Blue Bunny will technically go into the 4 spot only because I think they're the best, because they're soft served at chocolate, vanilla, and like strawberry. And those are made to be, I think, a little bit softer served than like cookies and cream and cookie dough. So that's the only reason Blue Bunny is getting a 4. So they're the 4th best. And okay, now we've got Tillamook, Breyers, and Bluebell. Now Tillamook has this chocolate mudslide ice cream that's amazing. Their ice cream is incredible from Tillamook. Breyers is good. We're gonna go Breyers at 3. Breyers, that's a tough call right there. Breyers is 3 because I don't know. I feel like I've caught myself buying more Tillamook ice cream recently than Breyers. And I think just Tillamook and Breyers are the same, but Tillamook just may be slightly better, but I think it's up to the person on what they decide. It's up to whoever wants it. Now, Breyers does make some good candy ice creams, like Breyers. Let's see. Breyers top ice cream. Well, like Breyers makes good. I forgot. I'd say their Neapolitan ice cream's really good. I enjoy their Neapolitan flavors. They have some unique, I'd say, flavors. I feel like they have a lot more candy flavors in there. Like I know they have Oreo and like Snickers or some. I don't know about Snickers, but so they've got really good ice cream. I'm looking online right now. They've got banana split. They've got some unique flavors in there. Like some of the unique basic flavors. Now, Tillamook. I forgot about Tillamook. Ooh. Now we're into Tillamook and Bluebell. And I was originally going to put this is tough. I was going to put Bluebell number 1. And Tillamook may take that. I don't know. But I think for the sake of it, I'm going to stick to my guns. Tillamook's number 2. They are a solid ice cream brand. Have some great strawberry ice cream. If you've never had the chocolate mudslide, that is a must buy, a must try at the ice cream market, at the ice cream store. Now, what else is there? Now, with that, Bluebell is number 1. Because Texas, you got to stick with Texas. It is also the best ice cream. The chocolate and Bluebell, or the basics are great. I love the Dr. Pepper ice cream. I think that's what elevates it. It's creative. They've got cookie dough. They've got the ice cream. They got peppermint. They got everything. I think it sticks to the holiday season. Not this Daily Meal garbage that I'm looking at. The Daily Meal. Oh my gosh. What are they trying to say? Let's see. Oh, no. This is what they say. No need to worry about looking at every ice cream label before making a decision, though. Our ranking is the ultimate guide to sorting through ice cream aisle of any grocery store. We have parsed out and priced out the different ice cream options so that you can ensure you're getting the best ice cream available. Well, this was wrong. Who made this? Helena Nichols? Nichols did not. I disagree with this list. I know Blue Bunny's not technically ice cream, but my taste buds disagree. My taste buds say that's ice cream, so they are a top 5 ice cream. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this list. The Daily Meal. What? Ben & Jerry's is they're saying it's best price, but Ben & Jerry's is one of the most expensive ice creams out there. Okay. That's just that's rough. Don't listen to that list though. That list is gone. We're pressing delete on my computer from that list. I don't even know how I got there. I think I was just looking up ice cream flavors from each, just in case I forgot any. Anyway, so from burnt to crispy on ice cream flavors, we have Ben & Jerry's is number 5, a clear number 5, and then Blue Bunny's number 4. Now all of the top 4 are close together. Blue Bunny's 4, Breyers is 3, Tillamook is 2, and Bluebell is number 1, and that is the correct burnt to crispy on ice cream. And just transitioning over to On This Day in Sports History, it is April 16th, 2024, as I am filming this episode or recording this episode. And on this day in sports history in 1940, the Cleveland Indians pitcher Bob Feller hurls the first and only opening day no-hitter in MLB history, being the Chicago White Sox 1-0 at Comiskey Park. So we've never seen a no-hitter since then on opening day, which is pretty cool to think about it now that we're in baseball season. And let me just say, the Chicago White Sox still are not good. They got shut out opening day, and they are not good this season either. And anyway, thank you for listening to this episode of the Crispy Fried Takes podcast. Hopefully you give us a follow on whatever media platform you're listening to, and keep on listening, because it's only going to get better from here. And you need to probably, in case you forget about ice cream, you need to re-listen to this episode, because this is the correct ice cream ranking of the brands, of the top brands. It's the correct one. So just with that, and hopefully we can expand to another country. We're at 3. Why not go for 4? So spread the word, share it with your friends, share it with someone that outside this country and to a new one. I don't know. I'm just excited that we're in 3 countries. So let this episode sizzle in a bit, and I'll catch you here next week with me, Chrispy. And I just want to say thank you for listening to this episode one last time, and have a great rest of your day.